podcast, where this week we've got new microphones. My name is Grady. You can find me on Twitter at @afriendlypest, and I am joined by...
I'm Stephan, and you can find me on Twitter on Hellblazer_Sith.
I'm Dan. You can find me on Twitter at JournalmanDan, and just for the record, I always had a good mic.
That's true, you did.
I'm Chris. You can find me on the Twitters at Universe25. I'm sorry, I am Universe25. Thank you, Steph. You know my information better than I do.
Yeah, we probably
I still don't really
use
it.
Tweet.
Yeah, I still don't really use it, but I am there, technically.
So this week we have a very special guest. He's a man of who's got his hand in many parts with many different podcasts, from midweek gaming to the Stubz Cast Content Creator Hub. It's Stubz. How are you doing, Stubz?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for inviting me on. And at Stubz Gaming if you want to follow me on Twitter.
And you're on YouTube. What other platforms do you put your content on?
I'm on YouTube. The Stubz Cast and Midweek Gaming after the fact. They go on to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much a lot of the podcast networks. I can get them on anyway. I do that via Anchor. It's the easiest way. It is.
Specifically, we wanted to have you on the podcast because you're a content creator that highlights other content creators, and we like that. We Animated Evil and Mr. Tushy because they add to the community by hosting the games night. And we want to bring people on that make gaming a better place, and the way you bring other content creators forward, let them showcase what they do. I like that especially. And looking at it, this is our 8th episode. You've got 41 in a playlist and 41 in another playlist. So by my math, back of the napkin, you've put out at least 3 times the content we have.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't actually, because when I first started doing podcasting, I was quite. If you would have heard me, I featured on a couple of one podcast, and I thought, Mr. Boomstick's podcast a long time ago, and you would have heard me. I was awful. The topics weren't for me, and then I had this not a unique idea about interviewing content creators. And I was part of BG4GHub.com at the time. I'm not anymore. And there was a content creator there called Tom Wilde. And he gave me an idea for a podcast. He says, why don't you interview these content creators? And I was like, that's not a bad idea. So I interviewed him, and then it took off from there. And it's interesting because sometimes you'll get some really interesting and sometimes emotional stories out of people that no one actually ever knows, and it's quite interesting because not everyone's journey is the same into content creation and podcasting. And also with my shows, you can learn a lot about how to be a YouTuber or a podcaster, because some of the YouTubers, even though they may not have some of the biggest followings and some of the people I've had on have got bigger followings, they do actually know quite a bit about podcasting. And that's the main premise around it, helping and teaching and discovering these stories about content creation. And yeah, I'm 41 episodes in. I done one last night with Mr. Badbit from the PS Trophy Room, which is a good show. And then Midweek Gaming was born out of... I know it says 41, and when I do the next Midweek Gaming, it'd be 43, but I've actually been doing... the Stubz Cast Content Creator Hub podcast the longest. Just it's been breaks and because I started it in January 2020, and I've had various breaks in that, so it's not weekly, whereas Midweek Gaming was weekly, and that started just before in the build up. You know, when these events were happening, teasing the PlayStation 5 and reaction shows. And it's actually funny enough, one of your guests, Mr. Tushy, that he had on a couple of weeks ago, mentioned to me, because I was doing these little reaction shows with Removable Sanity at the time and Mr. Tushy, and then VJ came on, and then they said, why don't we do a weekly show, because it was at 10 p.m. UK time, because obviously you have BST and GMT, so it's just, and we seem to be getting a kind of following for it. So why don't we just do a weekly show? And that's kind of how it transpired, that show, and it was born out of that. It was people seem to be liking it because we get like anywhere from 10 to 25 people in chat, and they seem to be very engaging. So yeah, it's worked out all right so far. It's all fun though. It is. Sorry about a long-winded questions to podcast. I've probably bored everyone now.
No, we mute ourselves when people are talking because we don't want our random sounds to interrupt.
Okay. And this isn't about us; it's about you.
Yeah, the celebrity.
It's more interesting to me when somebody interviews other people in the community that like to create content and why they like to and how they got started and where they're at in the content creation. I look the different people you've had on. That's way more interesting to me than a bunch of people sitting around reacting to the news. I've got my own opinions on the news. Everybody does. That's much less interesting or entertaining to me than actually learning about the people behind these profiles and accounts. 'Cause I think it's more sincere also if you've got someone with just a Twitter handle and they're putting out positivity every day as much as they can. And maybe that's not really what they got going on the inside, but you're going to find that with an interview. To me, that's way more interesting, valuable, entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the points I like about it. I'm not going to say I invented the genre because I didn't. People have done this for years on YouTube. There's certain big, I'm not going to say any names, but that used to do this when they started out. Now they make not very good content now. Not saying who I'm on about, but there's loads of people have done it in the past. There's quite a few people that do it. But I have a unique take. It's like my friend ACS Husk does a similar show on Gaming Beyond the Boxes channel, and it's not the same. The way we word questions and the way we do our shows are completely different. They are, but it is good to get these stories out there. And I do enjoy it because if you want to check out the Graphic Gods episode, and when he mentioned certain things in that interview, he actually said to me there, I've never mentioned this on a podcast before because I didn't think anyone was interested. And that one's an interesting show, that is. So sometimes people don't feel like they can share stories on podcasts, like you say, with you're all basically reacting to the same news each week. Because that's what a lot of them are, if you be honest. A lot of the podcasts are literally the same stories, all reacting to what they think. So it's something a bit different. I'm not going to say I'm unique. I just think it's a good way of people learning about these creators. Because you never know, one day, I'm not saying this isn't why I do it, but one day a little content creator could blow up and be one of the biggest sensations, and everyone suddenly goes and looks for interviews for that creator, and suddenly, there's my podcast. You see what I mean? So, but I do enjoy small and big creators. I'll speak to anybody. I've had Dealer Gaming on, Randall419. I've had also Miles Dompierre from Windows Central. So
looks like you had the Xbox Pope on.
I have had the Xbox Pope on now, called Pope Art. So I've been talking to him and hopefully going to get him back on soon to talk about what he's doing now, because things have slightly changed for him and what he does for a business. I hope I'll get him on in the future. Good bloke, really good bloke. He also drops into the community game nights sometimes as well. Something I need to do more of. I'm kind of like Mr. Tucci says at the minute with gaming. He says you're like a PlayStation gamer. Because I've got Game Pass is great, but it's turned me into a single player gamer now. And I used to be really big into Gears of War multiplayer. I used to play multiplayer all the time, but now I'm like, seems to just play single player. And I need to get more socially active back into community in actually gaming with people, because I kind of stopped. It's weird for somebody who does a podcast and doesn't shut up on podcasts. You know what I mean? But I'll get there in the end. I'll sort it. I will.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was Game Pass that made you more of a single player. Because what I heard that Mr. Tushy had beat you so badly at Gears of War that you kind of retired from the multiplayer.
Trash talk.
I wouldn't mind if I scored. But his score was like 30 and I was like 51.
There's some question about the details, but I guess it was demoralizing.
we're only allowed to post screenshots when Mr. Tushi's winning.
That's true. None of my winning screenshots made it, but I saved them. I got the receipts.
There will be a Halo one. We need to arrange the Halo one, and he will absolutely trash me at that. I'm not very good at that game.
A 1v1 Halo? That might be fun.
Yeah,
For you guys, that would
it might be
absolutely
50-0
stress
to
me
him.
out.
Or something like that. But yeah, so that's basically it with the podcast, and it's good. And thanks for inviting me on. It's nice to be able to be invited on the podcast. And a pre-recorded one. This is
That's
new.
right,
There's no chat.
pre-recorded.
There's no chat in front of me. There's nothing like that. This is new to me.
It's like a conversation among friends.
You're welcome.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to correct things now. For fuck's sake, come on, you fucking...
Hey, we get Mario coins this week.
Just want the Mario coin.
That's it. I won't swear again. I just want the Mario coins in.
Don't say Mario coin because Nintendo be on us.
Please don't kill me, Nintendo.
Stubz, was there anything else you wanted to talk about specifically with your podcast efforts? I mean, you've got multiple playlists. Is there anything else you want to highlight before we move on to other topics?
No, just if anyone wants to check out the show, I think it might be linked in the description.
It will be linked in the description.
And check it out, or you can also type it in on Spotify. Just put the Stubz cast in, and it will come up. And if you want to check out Midweek Gaming, do the same on YouTube. I'm not very good at advertising my show. I'm not.
To thank you for having the key members of this podcast on your podcast as well. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I haven't got round yet.
Oh, the
to
key members,
getting-
right.
I see how it is.
The important
Come on,
two.
Chris.
I'm
We're
sorry.
breaking away.
Who
Again.
does the editing?
We'll do our own podcast, and it'll be even better because
it
there
Carry
will
On
be
Gaming
hookers.
Oh no,
Drugs.
We'll split our 7 views.
I haven't got round to inviting more people yet. I'm having a bit of break at the minute. We are for a few weeks.
It's just friendly trash
We
talk.
I would love to see Chris do a
Nope.
live one.
I
love
would.
to see it.
That's probably not a great idea.
That meme with the kid that's straining and they use it for different things. I can see.
All right, well, enough of Stubz. So anyway, enough about Stubz. What are you playing this past week, Stephan?
I have been playing The Elder Scrolls Online. Those who follow my Twitter will know I play a necromancer. I have got an achievement. Basically, I had to kill 15 people around 15 random places around Tamriel to get the achievement because I've joined the Dark Brotherhood. So that was a pain in my ass. It only took about 3 hours, and I used a guide, and I've travelled to areas that I never thought I would travel to. I'm now level 17 as well. I've also got the First Blood achievement, which is what you get for completing one of the Dark Brotherhood quest lines, and that's what happens when Grady and Dan don't play Elder Scrolls with me. Community game night I took part in, so played some Halo 5. I haven't played Halo in quite a while, and I didn't suck. Didn't come last in any of it, which I was very proud of myself. And
I always, by the way, I'm not to cut you. I always love when somebody's like, "I didn't come last," and somebody did come last, and they can hear it. You know what I mean?
I don't care. I did not come last, and I got teabagged, which is what I was promised, and played golf with friends. Only one round, and it was quite entertaining. Also did not come last, and I had to ask for controls whilst playing. So that's what
That's a
I've been
great
playing.
game night game. It really is.
Grady, what do they call that on game night?
Golf with assholes.
Oh, that's right.
I think it'll be one of those games which is really fun whilst drunk.
The bigger challenge when you're playing that is the odd-shaped balls are very difficult to get in the hole.
That's what she said.
I'll be able to play with normal balls. The early hours of this morning. Brady, what have you been playing?
Quite a bit. I got to participate in the Back 4 Blood beta. I will
Beautiful.
say my first impressions are not fantastic, but I also think the company's going to make that game, and I'm looking forward to playing it at launch with the right people. And maybe we should schedule something that could be a lot of fun. We could even start streaming or something and share an audio. That'd be a good time.
They can hear me screaming.
Exactly.
It
that
ain't
looks like
scary.
I think they're doing it right. I think it's.
Halo 5 isn't scary, and I screamed during that when Grady shot me.
You're welcome. That's it. I've been playing a lot Deep Rock Galactic, which I talked about last week, but currently a different Stubz. That's his favorite game right now, so anytime I hop on with him, I get to play that. and then attended community game night, which I'm not a big Halo 5 guy, but that was a good time as always because, again, the company makes the game. So that was a good time. Art of Rally just came to Game Pass, and I like that. I'm not sure if it's got a multiplayer element. I think that would be a great multiplayer game, and by myself, not crazy about it. And then I also started Hades today, which I went up through the first boss, Meg. I think that's a really good playing game, a very interesting game. I'm not a huge fan of roguelikes normally. I like it, but it's also pretty sweaty, and I wasn't in the mood for something that intense this morning to go past that point. But I think I'm going to go back to it because I've been thinking about it since I played it. And when I beat the first boss, I was like, you know what, far enough, I'm going to call that a victory. I just won't play any further. But I've been thinking about that game more as the day went on. I think I am going to go back to that. And
you
then,
bloody well.
Quit yelling at me.
That's
man.
a great game.
I downloaded it. I was planning to play it when my bounty got too high on Elder Scrolls.
When did you play it, Dan? Wasn't it on PC prior?
Yeah,
I had it on the I had it on my I have it on my Mac.
Okay.
So I played it last year.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
know you
on.
could game on one of those.
Well, with games like that, it's fine.
How dare you insult our sponsor, Windows 11?
Back on Windows 11.
Mac OS.
But no, it's my wife has invoked the quote "together time" clause for this evening. We're gonna play some Ascent couch co-op out in the man cave. And
I
have
bet
some-
you
no,
are.
Dan, calm down, Dan. Damn, take a shower.
You can tell Dan had no action.
Yeah, it's like, oh, go on. No, I'm gonna review the agreements. I don't remember that Valve together time, but we'll see how it goes. That ought to be a good. That game's growing on me. Like I said, I started with it. Wasn't too sure at first, but it is growing on me and becoming more interesting. So that'll be fun. And that's pretty much what I've been playing. What about you, Daniel? Now that you're all wound up tight, arm shaking.
Oh God, Jesus! I've been playing a few games. One I've been playing it's from the Game Pass. It's called Beholder. Really interesting, actually. You're playing as this government-appointed landlord in like a communist state, and you're spying on all like your tenants, and you have to snitch on them, basically, grass on them if like they're doing anything illegal when you report them to the state. And you can manipulate it, and you can blackmail people, and you can make friends, and like it's a really interesting game. It's on Game Pass. Like definitely check it out.
Is that console Game Pass or PC?
Yeah, I think it's on that. I played it on the
console
Xbox.
I missed that one. I have to check that out. That sounds really cool.
See, I bought that game a long time ago on Steam. It's good. I mean, it's grim, but it's a good time.
Yeah, it's dark.
And it's really
My daughter
dark.
died 10 minutes in.
Yeah, my
Spoiler.
son got.
Well, that
shipped
might not
to,
happen too. So
Yeah, it's kind of dynamic. My son
brutal.
got shipped to a labor camp.
Hey, it was him or me, right?
Yeah, I mean, some kids.
I've also been playing a game called Orwell: Keeping an Eye on You. Basically, it's a game where you're working for a surveillance state. Yeah, I'm into surveillance
So
states this week. It's weird.
Yeah, so it's Beholder Part 2.
Well, that actually exists as well. I need to play that
It
too.
does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but Orwell, you're working for like this government watchdog who watch people's social media, and there's like a terrorist bombing, and you start profiling people off their social media and digging deeper into their personal background. It's really it's really interesting, and it really grabs you. Like I couldn't stop playing until I reached the end of it. Like it's really harrowing stuff because it deals with privacy and social media, spying and privacy and all that. But it's really a really interesting game.
Privacy? What's that?
What's it on?
I played that on my Mac, but you can get that on your phone as well.
Really?
First
PC
Mac gamer
too.
I've ever met. It's crazy. And an honor, if I might say.
Only one you'll ever meet, probably, as well.
I also played the Back for Blood beta. I only played it for like an hour, but I did enjoy what I played. It felt like a refinement of Left 4 Dead, taking the best bits of Call of Duty Zombies and merging them with Left 4 Dead and modernizing it. I enjoyed it, and it was really bloody and gory. I mean, I was caked in blood by the end of it.
Think of worse things.
I did enjoy the gore was pretty good on that.
And
Caked in
yeah,
blood.
what else have I?
It's hot.
Speaking of gaming on Mac, Dan, didn't you get to try out xCloud?
Oh yeah, I did. I was staying with a family member recently, and their internet's a lot faster than mine. So I finally got a go of xCloud, and it was a bit touch and go when I was, using the controller wirelessly, just because of the latency. But as soon as I plugged the controller in with a USB-C cable, it was perfect. It was like I was playing at home. For the most part, there were a few hiccups, but that was, just now and then. And that's how I tried Beholder originally. I tried it through the xCloud streaming. I played a few rounds of Battlefield 5 as well. Surprising how well that ran, like in the browser of the Mac. Like, it was really good, and I wish I could use it at home here, but obviously I can't because of the internet. But I'm really happy I got to try it for once. Like, I was impressed.
The fact that it was playable, does impress me, because I know some serious issues when the whole Stadia thing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, my experience with xCloud's been pretty good too. I really like it to try out games. If I decide I like them and I want the local experience, I can download them, And I hope they expand that feature set too. I think there's a lot of potential there. That about it, Dan?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, and Game Dev Tycoon, obviously. Been playing a good bit of that.
You always play that, though. No
Yeah, it's my special game.
Stubz, you had any time to play recently?
I have been playing Windows 11. It's incredible.
Fantastic. Yes. Absolutely.
It would kill my laptop, that would, to be honest, if I ever tried to put it on. My laptop would die.
Everything and anything.
But
if
no,
we had listeners, they'd be so confused while we bring that up every week, but we don't, so it's cool.
Windows 11 is a virus.
I agree. Well said.
I played a game called In the Razor Light for review. I've got to do a review for that on my channel. I have, because I've got the Series X version.
That's something you didn't mention. You get review codes as well. You're that big a deal.
No, I'm not. Because it takes me a while to do the actual review.
But you do get the review code.
You don't need to be that big to get review
that's pretty
codes.
cool. That's pretty cool.
You only have to go on
If it's
Keymailer
close.
and apply for a lot of the indie games, and sometimes you get them. It's not even a new game. It's not at all. It's quite a... But that's a fun game. I'll do a review on that, but that's... Have you ever played a game where you're by yourself? You're walking around and there's no one else. That's what it kind of is.
Like in the game, you're by yourself?
Yes, there's no one else in the entire game. Just yourself.
That's weird.
Sounds like Journey.
Wasn't Lost
It's an
Planet kind of that way
exploration game.
too?
Yeah, but I don't think I played that. But this is literally you just explore and discover. You can complete it in an hour or two. But I will do a review on that. I will. And
Sounds
I
cool.
have been playing. I didn't really get much chance this week, but I've been busy at work and I fall asleep a lot of time at night. As Tushi will tell you. I'm gaming. I'm regular. I will admit that. It's not no secret. Death's Door. I tried Death's Door. Not very far at the minute because I'm trying to beat what I thought was the first boss, but apparently it's the tutorial boss.
Well,
I can't get past it.
It does throw a boss at you pretty quick. Yeah,
Yes.
I got past
I've been
it, but it was
advised
close.
on how to do it, but it apparently shouldn't be taking me any more than 2 goes. I've tried it about 10 or 15 times. So when I get off here, I'm going to go and give it another go. I also got into the Back for Blood beta, and I decided not to play it.
Yeah, that was the same as me. I forgot to play it.
It's still
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, there's an open beta this weekend, which
Oh,
of
is
course
it?
this is a
I've
week
seen
late, but anybody
that
right
might
now
That's
is
what
explain
I've
it.
been playing.
I wonder why everyone was playing it. I thought, well, I didn't realise there was. Obviously, it's an open beta. That's why people are playing it. And going
It's,
back a few weeks as well, I played the Halo Infinite flight, and it was. I'm not a Halo person, more of a Gears person, and I thought Halo Infinite was really, really good. Apart from them bots, they were like bossing everyone. Even people I thought were really good at Halo were struggling. They were, so that made me feel a little bit
I
better.
got teabagged by a bot.
Yeah, they were programmed to do that. But they were
Yeah, that was
programmed
awesome.
to do that, and they were programmed to teabag other bots as well. They were.
343 officially came out and said that they were not programmed to do that. And I've watched
Did
the
they?
footage, and I find it
Oh, right.
inconclusive. It looks to me like a confused pathing issue more than an intentional
Oh.
teabag, but
I don't
it's
care.
hard.
No,
That's
it's
how they
Skynet.
want it to look.
They should leave it.
They're
in
coming
there.
together.
It's part of the culture. It's culture.
They should leave it
it's
in
not
there.
assault.
It is culture.
But
It's not
yeah,
assault.
it is. But you know, the world we live in, this PC world we live in, they probably won't leave it in there. Someone will campaign or kick off or something. You know, they will.
No, I enjoyed that a lot as well. I think it was really smart to push people out against bots first, because a lot of the seasoned Halo players are absolutely ruthless, and if your first experience playing Halo was against somebody like that, you're not going to have a good time.
And I wasn't invited.
Still don't understand that.
I brought this up on Midweek Gaming as well.
Yep.
You were upset that Stephan didn't get it as well? But the rest of us were.
No, I made sure that Stephan knew that I got in the beta, and he didn't.
I'm getting rid of my Halo tattoo. Screw you.
I like how quick new people we meet take to trolling Stephan.
Our friendly pest was trolled on Midweek Gaming from the chat.
Yeah.
Everyone was a friendly pest.
You guys could have done a better job, though. That was pretty friendly. You gotta be mean to Grady.
I'm pretty friendly.
It's the best way to handle it.
He's a real pest.
How much I appreciated that. Like, I about fell out of my chair when that popped up, because at first I was confused. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I seeing my own name on? And then I get looking at the different windows and the versions of it. And
why am I in the magic box?
Why am I? I really appreciated it, to be honest. Like, I thought it was super cool that you guys took the time to screw with me. And anyway, that was awesome. I liked that. I put out quite a bit of energy into giving people a hard time. And it's nice when people do it back. That about covers that topic.
What does it?
Unless you had something else you're playing, Stubz.
No, I've been lacking actually recently.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I haven't been playing anything. You know, it's fine. I don't.
Didn't you already go?
Don't you? No, it's fine. No, I don't care.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No,
we do need to talk
I'm
about
done.
that. Chris,
I'm
what
done.
are you playing? We definitely need to talk about you playing VR.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm
Okay,
fine.
that's my job. That's my job to be over dramatic. If you would just.
Chris,
Well, I mean, if we're going
what
to
are you
talk about the
playing?
gadgets, then we can talk. I can talk about the. Let's just get
Is that
to
what
the
you want to do?
gadgets bit. Yeah, we can do
How
that.
you want to handle it?
Yeah, it's fine. You know, it's cool. I'm sorry, I don't mean to step on your toes, Grady, by being the
Being over dramatic
one, but
Yeah, that's my job.
I know. Sorry.
Recognize.
I will get back in my lane. Balls.
I hate you
Yep,
guys.
back in my lane. Feels good here.
God damn.
So how you doing, Stubz? Enjoying the?
He's like, what did I let myself in for?
Oh, that was good though. I appreciate that one. Chris, I understand that you recently acquired an Oculus Quest 2.
I did recently acquire an Oculus Quest 2. Grady, like a street-level drug peddler, said, here, try a hit for free. You know, just one hit. Can't hurt, right?
I thought you were going to say Grady graciously loaned me his very expensive, very enjoyable piece of gaming equipment, but I should have known better.
Well, that was what I was going to say then. But after having acquired an addiction from it, now I'm calling you a low-level drug dealer.
And that wasn't my intention. I actually thought if you played it a week that you might realize, maybe I don't want one of these, but it had the other effect.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. My kids like it a lot, and I can see possible assault in the future. But yeah, it's. I was a doubter, and now I'm not. I believe in virtual reality now. It is our savior, and it can bring us all together in peace and love and harmony, and graphic violence if you're playing the right game.
What's your favorite game you've actually played so far?
Super Hot is amazing in VR. Like, I liked the just normal, desktop version. It was great. But playing it in VR, that's a game changer. Thumper in VR is ridiculous.
I need to experience Thumper, because to look at it, I don't understand. And the comments I see for that, people are calling it like existentially terrifying and everything. I was like, man, I need to experience this, because I played Super Hot. I agree, it's awesome. I think Super Hot VR was better than Half-Life Alyx. That's not going to be very popular, but I haven't played Thumper.
Yeah, it's a rhythm game.
It's good. You have to play it.
Yeah. Oh, you've
Just
got
to
it on
interject
your
there.
Quest.
Grady, it sounds like you're not getting your VR headset back.
Oh no, I've got
he
my own
already
now.
got another one. He already got
Oh,
another
right,
one.
he's bought it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fair
I'm
Stephan
bringing
also
him
has a
his
Quest.
tomorrow.
I think we really need to make an effort to co-op some VR stuff like that board game
Who
thing
else?
or
I've got
Populous
a
one.
VR.
Stephan does.
See, I
Yeah.
know you do,
Yours is a
Stephan.
Quest 1, right?
Yeah, I got the Quest 1 because... So when I got my Quest, I was really enjoying it, and then I broke my toe. And
Damn.
I was told,
Ow.
oh, you need to rest for 6 weeks. Don't walk around too much. It took 3 months to heal because I did not follow those instructions.
I broke
Should've
my
played
knee.
Thumper.
Yeah, so I didn't play for my VR because it was too strenuous. Because I tried playing sitting down. It doesn't really work that well.
It does with games like Thumper and The Walking Dead, but
I have a PlayStation VR, but like I don't take it out a lot, mainly because all the games that I try, they're all corridor shooters and rail experiences, and I guess it's the limitations of the device, but like it wasn't very engaging.
So what did you think of The Walking Dead? Because that's one I have, but I haven't played enough to know whether I like it or not. You've got that also, right?
I have it on
played
your
when you
headset.
borrowed
I
mine.
haven't bought
What
it
do you
yet.
think of that?
I enjoyed it. The climbing on it is horrible. Like trying to climb up something just is trash. But the rest of it, I really enjoyed. Aside from the fact it's the only one that's given me any motion sickness.
It does, yeah. I had that.
But that was the
experience
first
as well.
time I'd ever, like the first day I'd ever put one on my head. So, but yeah, the fact that you can grab a zombie's head and shove a knife in its face is just, that's beautiful to me. And you have to fight to get the knife out, like jerk hard to get it out of their face. It's always been a fantasy of
Damn it,
mine.
Dan. Anything else about your new VR experience you want to talk about?
Last night I was in YouTube and I found this 360 degree what the hell it was like a psychedelic thing, and I have to say that was one of the best times I've had.
So is there a special library of YouTube content that you can watch in that where you can look about the experience?
Yeah, it should come up when you open the YouTube app with the videos.
I don't think I've never done that with it. I've mostly played Pistol
Try
Whip
it.
or Super Hot. I need to check that out because, like, my understanding is there's also some films that they've made, and you have to explore the house, and it's not like a long movie, but you have to move around the house and see everything that happens, kind of follow the actors yourself, something like that.
I don't know about that. I downloaded a virtual reality film, but I can't remember what it was called now. I haven't watched it yet. Apparently, it's supposed to be good, but there's a lot of 360 degree VR content there.
Yeah, there was a Blair Witch one, which I recommend if you want to get a scare. I can't remember what the app name is, but that was creepy as hell.
Actually, I played through the Blair Witch Project game on Game Pass a couple years ago, and I found that enjoyable for a walking simulator.
Yeah, I think it's on the Quest as well. Have a look on the
It is.
store.
I don't
It's
think-
so
It's
good.
absolutely terrible.
I don't think I'd play through it again. Like, it was good for one playthrough, but maybe in VR, I imagine
It's a
VR
different
would be
experience
much
on
better.
VR.
Yeah.
That reminds me that I've got a wired headset also that goes with my computer. It's a Windows Samsung Odyssey something or other. Anyway, that's what I played Half-Life Alyx on, and Raquel was checking out Half-Life Alyx, and this head crab jumped at her, and she literally threw herself on the floor and about yanked my computer off the desk trying to get away from the head crab. She didn't play that anymore after that, but that was cool.
I need to get my daughter in there and be like, hey, check this out, and play the Pennywise 360 experience they did for It Chapter 1. I think she would. And then I need to film it.
All gadgeted out?
I think so.
This week
Oh,
my
here
new
it
audio
comes.
equipment arrived, and I'm pretty excited about that. It's a Presonus kind of pre-gathered kit with a bundled deal, and it came with some software for the Studio One version 5 artist, and I'm really excited because while I'm currently overwhelmed, I'm looking forward to being able to help produce some of our musical efforts in the future. And I've started kind of trying to experiment with songwriting and stuff as well, which it's been really enjoyable to have it as another outlet besides my other too many hobbies that I'm spread way too thin. I'll never get any good at. But so far, very happy with and enjoying this new microphone, especially the monitoring, so I can hear myself when I talk. It completely different than what I was doing before. Kind of had to leave an earphone off to hear myself, to not speak too loudly. No, I'm really enjoying it so far, but I won't spend too much time on that. I was practicing my new song when Stubz popped in.
You was, yes.
I still look forward to hearing that.
It didn't sound too bad, right? It sounded okay.
Yes. Yeah, you did.
It was
Stubz.
lovely.
Thank you.
Stubz, be honest.
Am I the only one who
like
hasn't heard this?
Did it sound like? Did it sound like folk?
Yeah.
Did it sound like folk music?
It's supposed to
Yeah.
sound like folk music.
God bless it, Grady.
You can play it afterwards. Next time this podcast first.
Do it right now. Do it
You
here
don't-
on the
you want-
podcast.
You don't want to taste.
Okay, we'll do it live.
All right, Stubz, thank you for being on. Hopefully you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting me on. I really appreciate it. It was a good show. Hopefully, I've done all right. I don't know. Hopefully people enjoy it.
Well,
It
we'll
was
see.
fun.
We enjoyed
We
you
will
having you
see.
on there.
You're a good company.
It was fun to come on. Anyway, it was. Thank you.
You know, and be sure to friend us on Xbox or whatever platforms that you want to interact with us. We're all looking for company that we enjoy spending time with. You seem like a good guy, and so we're grateful for you having us on your show as well. So it's our pleasure to have you on ours, such as it is.
Well, thank
Yes.
you. It's I only invite people I think that are good on, and I've got a big list of people.
Hear that, Dan?
Like,
That explains it.
that came out wrong. I do.
I don't care. That was such a brilliant
What she
burn.
said.
I do have a long list. I haven't got to everyone yet. It's hard. Some weeks you don't. I have to work out who's coming on the show from the regular panel and who. Sometimes I don't find out until an hour before. So, but I'm a little break from it, and I'm sure we'll be back.
Country roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. That's enough of that. Okay, so thanks for listening this week, guys. It's a good show. Thanks to Stubz for coming on, mate. You were really good. Really nice having you on, and hopefully we'll have you on again sometime in the future. But for now, I hope you have a lovely week, guys. Stay safe, and no matter what, just carry on gaming. We'll see you next week.